Hi, I'm Amy, and this is week 2 discussion, the differences and everything that goes along with formative and summative assessments. To begin with, a formative assessment, simply put, is discovering what a student knows while they're learning the content and how they're progressing through the instruction. Summative is a summary of what the student learned over a course of time, like a quarter, or just it could be like a trimester, a quarter, even just the 3-week instructional period of a certain unit. And what that does, it takes, everything they've learned through the course, and then they see what the student learned. Whereas formative, again, is as the student is learning. I use formative assessments in my structured literacy program pretty much daily. I give them, I listen to them say the alphabet sounds, write the words we're learning that week, and it's on a worksheet, or sometimes it's a dry erase board, and I'm able to see in the moment if they're getting it. And I'm able to decide, do we stick on that level or do we move up? Whereas summative, I would almost have to say that's where the iReady assessments come in. When I'm getting ready to do an annual IEP, I will look at their iReady along with all their other work samples, but their iReady, I can see where they fell in their math, in the different subtests of math, as well as their reading comprehension and their writing. And because it's taken 3 times a year, I'm able to see what they have done in those that time period, and I can use that to help write my IEP. And then we have the WIAT 4 or any other type of assessment for the triennial review. And again, I am able to use that because it's kind of takes what they should be learning at grade level over the course of a certain amount of time, and I can see if they're learning it or if they're struggling, and that helps me again drive the IEP process. So next, the reliability or the advantages of the formative assessment. It's quick, it's in the moment, it can be personalized. I can have a group doing the same type of work, but I'm able to assess them maybe a little bit different on what they're able to do. And it helps me, again, in the moment decide, okay, we can move up a level. We still need to work on this multiplication with the multiplication chart right beside them. It really just drives my day-to-day lesson plans. Whereas the summative, I have everything written down. My summative, after we do a whole level, and at the end we do a mastery check, it shows me, did I get the information across? Did I teach it to them in a way that they could learn? And I can take that and I can reevaluate myself. If we're, working on a reading comprehension, and after a couple of weeks of doing the same passage, if they're still not getting it, when we do the final passage, it helps me figure out how to break it down into smaller chunks for them to even to work at it even more. If I had to choose which assessment I would rather use, it's the formative, because it's a lot more fun. We can do Kahoot, we can do bingo games. It's just, it's a lot more fun. Okay. The reliability, a formative assessment, I would have to do it, I have to do it all the time. I can't just on Wednesday say, hey, I want to assess you, and then say, oh, that's my data. It's ongoing, it's every day, and I have to compare it. The reliability, because I'm doing it more than once and I'm doing it in different ways, I'm able to catch the students when they're having a really good day. And on the bad days when they're just not feeling it, it's okay, because I have enough of the information collected through my quick, simple assessments. If they aren't really feeling like writing down answers, we can play Kahoot, we can play bingo. So I'm able to pull the information, pull what they're actually learning in the moment in fun and interesting different ways. If I just did the same thing, the same assessment, they're going to get bored. So my results will not be valid. Now with summative, again, it's hard to say that the advantages, of this is, it's, I'm trying to think of what the advantages are, especially in special education, because sometimes the children can't retain. So I would think that I would have to do a summative in smaller time periods. The type of assessments that are good for students who excel well with written, they can write, there's different ways I can give the summative, they can do a presentation, they can use text to speech or speech to text, things like that at the end to make the work not so cumbersome. Let's see what else I have. Oh, with the summative, and if we're doing the iReady, or if we're doing any type of state testing, if we're using that, you'll find a lot of times the children are just clicking, click, 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 click through the computer, or they just memorize. They know a test is coming, they know assessment's coming, and they're just going to memorize. And when you memorize, you don't really know it. You're not really able to talk about it out of context. So, I'm still kind of on the fence what, my disadvantages are, and it'd be great to hear what you have to say and your input on those as well. Now, let's talk about the bias. I've been out of school a long time, and I can't really call a personal bias, but I can tell you when my own children were in school, we didn't watch television. And I know one time, and a lot of times now, there's a lot of families that don't have cable or they don't have Wi-Fi at home. So if they're asked to do something at home that they have no access to, that's not really fair. And you say, okay, do this at home with your family, bring it back, we'll look at it. It's not really fair. If we're asking students to rely on funds of knowledge or life experiences and they just don't have it, we have to be able to work with them to get them to see the instruction or see what we're asking them to do in a different way. Again, I'd really am interested to hear what type of biases some of you have faced in your own academic career. I think that's all I have. So again, thanks very much for watching and listening, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Thank you.